You can hear me. Trying to get rid of that thing. It's been a minute. How are you all? It's good to see you. So I am, look at this. I have another piece that's dripping. I have this other gorgeous sideboard. I don't know what you want to call it. I mean, it could be a sofa table, it could be a sideboard, like buffet-ish. It could be any number of things. And I decided since I really enjoyed doing this paint wash to kind of mimic the look of stain, I was going to do so again. So that's what I'm doing, but only on the drawers and the fronts. The top drawers, that's what I meant, tops and drawers. Top and drawers. Oh my, I can speak. I really can. So what I did was, ooh, I need to mix it up a bit. Hang on. I went ahead and I took this paint in French linen. This is Dixie Belle's chalk paint. Let's see if we can get it to focus. There we go. This is French linen. It's a really beautiful neutral. And where can I put it? Put it over here. I mixed it. I took 1 part paint to 2 parts water and just put it in this separate container and shook it up, and it's super liquidy. If you've been on this channel before, you see I did this on another piece. I did a paint wash. And also another little tip is I save like these plastic containers that you get with produce sometimes, and I just wash them and then use them. They're really great for painting. Um, I like having some of those on hand. This is gelato container. That's perfect. It has a lid that seals amazing. The gelato is amazing. um, so what I like to do is take a foam brush and then I go back or go in, and I already did the drawers because I wanted to see, I kind of wanted to get an idea of how opaque or transparent I wanted this piece. And to be honest, I kind of like it a little bit less transparent, but I think I'm going to wipe some back. Let's just do it and see what happens. If you want it to be a little bit more opaque, you can wait a little bit more time from when you put the wash on to wiping it back. I'm just curious because I've done multiple layers, so I kind of want to see what it looks like. Okay, see, I like it when the wood shows through. And I'm going live because, again, I like to show the process, and I will make mistakes on live or do something that I think will work and it won't, and you all see it, and that's just the way it goes sometimes, you know? I might get back to uploading some videos with just filming and uploading, but I like the ability to just pop in live. And I know it's been a minute and I've missed you all, so I've been here, just been busy. Life has been a little full, as it happens sometimes, you know. But I've still been here. I've been still working on furniture. I have a dresser back there, which you can't really see. I flipped it around. I actually, on that dresser, did not paint the entire back because it was a masonite back, and I used silk paint on it. A new color. Look, I'm going to show you. It's really pretty. It's called Desert Rose. Isn't that beautiful? This is in the silk line. So, okay, so the plan for this piece is I want to do the top and drawers with the stained look. Now, mind you, this right here is where the old hardware was. I was not too perfect with this piece again to see. The last one turned out incredibly when I was like not perfectionistic about it. I mean, perfectionistic about my process, but not about like, if you're going for a more rustic look, you don't have to be as perfect about it. And there is like a slight ring where this had very large wood knobs that I knocked off. They were actually kind of secured into the wood. There's no hole here for hardware. Is there? No. So I just kind of use a rubber mallet or a hammer and I smack them off. And I'm planning on, I'll show you, I'll show you the hardware I'm planning on using. Well, similar to this, not these, yeah, these. I'm planning on using this hardware. So it's going to cover where I didn't sand perfectly the, where the old hardware was. So you're not even going to see that. So I'm not that concerned about it. And I'm also doing something a little different on this piece. I think, ooh, I'm getting silk paint on my gloves. Hang on. I don't know why I put the glove on my left hand anyway. I mean, that was a goof. I'm going to take that off, that glove. So I'm planning on doing, I think, I haven't fully decided, so don't hold me to silk and anchor, except for the fronts of the drawers and the top. I think I'm going to do the rest in this black. I haven't totally made up my mind yet. When you do a dark color, like black, navy, dark green, anything like that that's super dark, the sealant can get a little tricky. Only because the dark colors can show if there's like any streak. You can get a little streakiness with lighter colors as well, but it's really not that noticeable. So I have to decide whether I'm going to go black or not. I think I am because I did not go ahead and spray shellac the piece, which is a step that I would do if I was going to do it a light color. Now I did debate. I have some great colors here. This sandcastle is, will you be able to see it? Lovely. I don't know if you can tell. This little yellow undertones. This is like, it's called Sandcastle. So it reminds me of the beach and sand. And this is oyster, which is what I was considering. But because I didn't spray shellac and I want this piece to be like quick one and done thing, I think I'm going to pass on that. And I'm just going to go ahead and do black. So, and then I'll just have to be a little careful with the sealant. So I do go ahead and put clear coat over the black. And then I'm just wiping this back a little because it's already drying. I am leaving it a little bit less, I think, transparent. Kind of like that look. I haven't been able to get gator hide yet. I don't know if, I honestly, I'm not sure what's going on. Like if they had trouble getting materials or if they're reformulating it or whatever. But I haven't been able to get gator hide. So because I haven't been able to get gator hide, what I do is I'm going to leave a little rustic. What's some of that? Some of the color of the wood underneath, especially on the frame, on the edge. I keep calling it a frame. This reminds me of a frame, kind of like a picture frame, showing through. I have to go ahead and do clear coat, which is water resistant. And then I do, well, actually polyacrylic is water resistant as well. Then polyacrylic, I think it's a tiny bit more durable than the clear coat, even though, I don't know. I'm really not positive, but I think so. So I go ahead and do clear coat because the clear coat goes over silk paint and Dixie Belle paint, chalk paint miraculously. So I go ahead and use that and then I'll let that dry down. It's a little thicker, so it takes a little bit longer to dry than like say General Finishes, which I have General Finishes High Performance Top Coat. I'll let that dry and then I will go ahead in and put on a coat of the General Finishes High Performance Top Coat only because I haven't been able to get gator hide. Once I can get gator hide, I'm dying to try it. I will let you know when I get it. I think that's good, honestly. Like, I want it to look rustic. I want you to see some of the stain coming through. And I think she looks good. I've been debating doing the top or not. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit on here. I wasn't going to, but I honestly just think it would look better if I do. This is a very tight fit because this is an older piece. As you can see, I mean, it just closes. Now, That's another reason why I decided to go ahead with this wash because I did not want to be putting any layers of paint on the top of this, building it up with like, 2 to 3 layers of paint and having a gap that's that narrow. And because this is a box drawer, like a solid box drawer, look, the whole thing is solid wood. It's super solid. I would have had to have sanded down this entire top edge to get the gap so that I could have painted and then put top coat on and had the drawer open and close well. I am avoiding all of that by just doing this wash and putting like one coat of clear coat over top. It'll be fine. I also loved how quick and easy this was and how quickly it dries compared to stain. Now you could go ahead and stain, but it would take, I'm gonna raise you up a bit, bring you up here with me. It could take, I'd say 6 to 8 hours typically before you recoat with stain. I wanted there was a kitty that had jumped up on this piece. So before I actually apply that, I'm just going to make sure that there's no fur on the top of it because I had it cleaned. And then a kitty paid a visit, a neighborhood kitty, and kind of camped out right there when I was ready to paint. What was I saying? I don't remember. It's okay. We're moving on. So by diluting, oh, the stain. Stain can take, depending on the stain, if it's water-based or not, it could take 6 to 8 hours for the stain to dry before you can recoat. And doing a paint wash like this, I mean, this can dry so fast. That's one of the perks of chalk paint, as opposed to latex or whatever. It can dry super fast. Now, on this piece, I think I'm going to be planning on painting. I will be painting the whole thing. I'm going to be painting the back because this piece could be used as a like sofa table where the back could be visible depending on how you have your, sofa angled in the room. So because this piece, you might see the back. Unlike the dresser, I will paint it. Other dressers that are like vintage wood dressers, lots of times I do paint the back. And I do disclose if I don't paint the back, I will either take a picture of the back or disclose that the back is unpainted. If you're going to sell it, you should do that because that's important. Some people do want to know that. I would want to know that if I was buying a piece from someone who refinishes furniture. I had fun with that dresser. I went a little, um, do you know? I mean, I'm not going to get into it all, but like the term is bohemian. I don't know what other term to use, but in the last couple of years, I've heard that term discussed, and it's not a desirable term to use for a lack of better word. I don't know what else to use to describe that style because I still hear a lot of people using it. So I'm using it in that context, but just know I don't know exactly what, but I have heard that it's not a desirable term. Again, I don't know what you would call that style. So, but I can show you. So I did it in Desert Rose. It kind of had a little bit of rounded edges on it, which I thought was cool. And I thought it would go well with that look. Um, this is applying so beautifully. Now this piece, unlike the other one that I did, which was a very old piece, this isn't as old. It is a smoother finish on the top, like the surface is smoother. Let me show you. So look at this hardware. So I did that very distinct pink, that rose color, and I'm doing natural hardware. This actually was unfinished hardware that came, and oh my God, I've gotten paint on it. No, 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 no. I did seal with poly so I can wipe it off, but I don't want to get paint all over this, so I'm going to go put it down then. We're going with natural wood handles, which I polyed, and then I went ahead and got these cute little rattan. They're natural on the sides. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? Why does it do this with the lighting there? That is weird. Okay, so you can see. So it's rattan for the top drawers. Um, and super simple. Just came unfinished and I sealed it and it's good to go. Okay, so let's wipe back the top. Okay, back. Okay, let's wipe this back a bit. I'm liking it a little less transparent. Like on the other piece, I really kind of wiped it back so you could see the wood underneath. I like this because this was a newer piece. I like it a little bit more opaque, I think. I like the way it looks. I think it's done. That's how easy. Sometimes that happens, you know? See how it just it brings a cooler vibe to and cooler in terms of the tone of this paint. It is a French linen is a cooler toned beige, but it weirdly goes well sometimes with even like a bit of a warmer piece. I think it's perfect. I think it's going to be a one coat done, which I'm so surprised. I wasn't expecting that, but I like the way it looks. And I really want to get this piece done quickly. I think it's going to be good as is. And then this is, I'll show you again, the hardware with the drawers faces painted. And then this is going to be black. Or if it's going to be black, I think we're good, honestly. Oh, you know what oh my gosh, I was talking about silk with the dark colors. Like anytime you paint a dark color, when you go to put sealant on, you have to, it's a little trickier with applying sealant. I would say that's more for like applying on the top of a piece, the legs and stuff. It's no big deal. This paint has the equivalent of one coat of built-in primer and one coat of built-in sealants. So technically, I mean, you don't even have to seal it if you don't want to, but I always do. I go ahead, I'm just going to do clear coat then. I'm not going to do general finishes over the clear coat. If this has built-in sealant and I do 2 coats of clear coat, I'm not going to be applying an additional coat. I would on the top, but I don't need to on the front and side. So that's how easy that was. Do y'all see? Like she's good to go. Do you know what I'm saying? That's fast. And it really can mimic the look of a bleached out wood with such ease of chalk paint. You could also make a wash with, I have to look over here, sorry, with any other color that you want. You could do color if you want. You know what I mean? Like something that's not neutral. You absolutely could. You're not limited. But that's how simple it is. I really like it. I really, really like it. I'm liking this technique. I will end up trying it with another color, but because this has such like orangish yellow tones in the wood, I like to tone it down with a cooler color. If I were to do a warmer color, I just think it wouldn't mask that orangey yellow as much, and I really do wanted to tone that down. That's why I went with a cooler color like French linen instead of a warmer color like taupey beige. Does that make sense? There are warmer colors and there's cooler color beiges. This is a cool color beige. I think French linen is, I don't think French linen, that color is one of my go-tos with Dixie Belle's chalk paint line. I adore it. I've always adored it. It's like Spanish moss, I also really like, but French linen even more so. It's like French linen, coffee bean are so versatile. Now, if you wanted to do a different look on this piece, you have multiple options with a piece like this. That's what I love about it. You're not limited. I mean, you could dress it up. You know, if you wanted to make it really dressy, you could dress it down. I'm kind of dressing it down a bit by doing like a more rustic look, leaving some of these nicks and stuff in the top. I love the way it looks. I actually debated taking a hammer to this piece and just even aging it further, but for the sake of time, I didn't. Another thing you could do is you could paint the top of this, if you like the way it looks with a contrast, like the stained top and then say a painted bottom, you could go ahead with Coffee Bean, which is technically a chalk paint. You could do a wash. I'm going to do that one time and I will film it for you guys. I'll use Coffee Bean. It's like a dark espresso brown. You could go ahead and make a wash like that. You could go ahead and apply Coffee Bean solid, like so it's not, so it's totally opaque, and it will still mimic the look of a stain even like that. And then you could paint the bottom whenever you want. I mean, there's so many options. You could paint this border if you wanted to. I'm not, because of the lack of this gap here, I don't want to do a dark color. I want something very rustic. So if eventually some of it just kind of like comes off, it doesn't matter. It's just gonna, the piece is gonna age really well. That's the only reason why I'm not doing it. But I mean, you could have options to do any number of things. You could do the legs if you had a special, which I don't have, which at some point I'm gonna need to get a sander that could get in all these grooves. You could go ahead and sand the legs and apply the stain on the legs as well to match, which, to be perfectly honest, I would have done if I had that sander. I don't have a special sander to get in these little grooves. If I did, I probably would have taken the extra time it would have taken to sand the legs and then painted them or did a fake stain the same color as the top and the front. I don't, so I just left it as is, and they're gonna be painted black, and then I'm gonna go in and I might use maybe some gilding wax in here. I'm not sure. I'm going to see how the piece turns out, if I want to do that or not. For now, she's going to be black, but she might have some details in those crevices. Thanks so much for watching. It was good to see you all. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell, the things, and until next time, take care of yourselves and peace.